Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Wednesday, November 22, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. World Court has powers to enforce order on Venezuela, says AG. Cautions against hysteria. Single mother murdered at Mahica home while 5-year-old son hid in room. Appeal court ruling on election petition set for Monday. Small businesses benefit from over $500 million in loans and grants this year, and Jumbo Jet to take legal action against unauthorized resellers of SINOTRUK vehicles. Now for the news in detail. Guyana currently awaits word from the International Court of Justice as it seeks to block efforts by Venezuela to annex Essequibo via a referendum planned for December 3. And one buzzing concern is whether the Spanish-speaking country will abide by the verdict. In our lead story tonight, Rupasina Ryan reports that Attorney General Anil Nandlal has cautioned that there is no need for hysteria since the World Court is equipped with powers to enforce orders.
During his program Issues in the News, Attorney General Anil Nandlal drew attention to utterances from top officials from Venezuela, which has prompted concerns among the local population. Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez had alleged in her presentation to the World Court that Guyana is targeting the Venezuelan migrants living here in violation of international human rights and promoting xenophobia against migrants who have escaped harsh social and economic conditions in her country. Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo has already denounced these claims outright and stated that the Venezuelan official was trying to score political points with the ICJ by making these allegations. Nandlal assured that through the United Nations Security Council, the World Court has authority to enforce its own judgment.
What we can assure, and I believe the President alluded to it, is that the court itself has the wherewithal and the legal repertoire and authority internationally and under international law to enforce its own judgment. The enforcement arm of the court is the United Nations Security Council. Any court, even magistrates' court or municipal courts, have a power to enforce their orders. It is that coercive power that keeps the majesty of the court intact.
If a court grants orders that it is incapable of enforcing, the AG noted, it will become a rubber stamp.
I can't imagine that the International Court of Justice, which is the pinnacle and the very summit of the international legal structure, will be a court that is unable to enforce its own orders.
In an attempt to further assure Guyanese that there is no need to panic or move into a mode of hysteria, Nandlal added that Guyana has its own national capabilities, compounded with the fact that it has secured the assistance and support of the entire hemisphere, with the exception of Nicaragua.
Other than Nicaragua, I have not heard another country in this hemisphere supporting the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela on this matter. And the entire hemisphere and all the important international organizations, including the United Nations, the Organization of American States, the Commonwealth, CARICOM, and others, have all registered their support and their support for Guyana and their condemnation of Venezuela.
Guyana's legal team had argued before the World Court that the country was not attempting to halt Venezuela's referendum, but rather seeking provisional measures that will prevent its Essequibo region from being annexed by any means. Rupasina Ryan, The Evening News.
On Tuesday, Carl Greenwich, Guyana's agent in the border case before the International Court of Justice, emphasized the regional ramifications of Venezuela's aggression towards Guyana to a captivated Trinidad and Tobago audience. Gerald Bryan tells us more.
Guyana's agent, Carl Greenwich, was at the time addressing a forum in Trinidad organized by the Cipriani College of Labor and Cooperative Studies. He noted that Venezuela's games and silliness show that Guyana has to be prepared to keep fighting for its rights for a very long time. Further, he stressed that Venezuela's imperialistic ambitions are not limited to Guyana, and as such, their aggression to Guyana has regional ramifications.
These are the titles under which the maritime zones of our countries have been named as Venezuelan property. You will see Barbados there, Guyana, Suriname, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Dominica, blah, 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 all of those. I don't have to read them for you. I will say to you, when Colombia reacted to the decree in their own way, and eventually Venezuela took Colombia off the list. But all of these other countries, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines, remain on that list.
Greenwich noted that back in 1899, when Venezuela submitted their arguments to the arbitration panel, the focus of Venezuela's claim on Guyana's territory was on the Orinoco River.
Why? Because it wanted to have strategic and complete control of the Orinoco River, which is a far more massive river than the Essequibo. It sits at a junction which controls international trade, as does the Suez Canal, for example. A lot of trade passes south of Trinidad and through that passage. And that was their concern. And they went to the United States to get the United States to press Britain, to force Britain to go to arbitration. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, who was a lord at the time, is asking, I have seen statements by Venezuelans. Is it going to be the case that when you get a decision you don't like, you will say that your constitution doesn't allow it? That was asked of the Venezuelans. The Venezuelans answered, do you know how? No. We will implement the decision. That was in 1899, and even before, because this was in 1897. Today, because we are all supposed to have forgotten, expected to have forgotten, they can go back on their word.
Venezuela has laid claim to more than two-thirds of Guyana's landmass in Essequibo and to a portion of its exclusive economic zone, EEZ, where nearly 11 billion barrels of oil have been discovered. It is also steamrolling ahead with a December 3rd referendum seeking a mandate from the Venezuelan people to annex Essequibo, which Guyana has approached the International Court of Justice for an injunction against. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has reaffirmed CARICOM's support for Guyana in its border controversy with Venezuela, while making it clear that the region must remain a zone of peace. Gerald Bryan joins us again with the details.
During a recent press conference, Trinidadian Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley made it clear that the Caribbean community supports Guyana in its border controversy with Venezuela.
We will all know that even in the darkest hour, Trinidad and Tobago's position was that if difficulties arise, the response ought to be dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue. We need not and must not deviate from what exists, which is the principled position that our region must remain a zone of peace, and all difficulties must be colored by that principled position. Guyana knows that it has the support of CARICOM on this matter, and Venezuela knows that CARICOM supports Guyana on this matter.
He recalled that Trinidad has always been in Guyana's corner, recounting the role played by former Trinidad Prime Minister Eric Williams in the matter.
You may recall, maybe you're too young to know that this Essequibo issue had flared up at one time. And it was just as scary as it is now. And it was Dr. Williams of Trinidad and Tobago who brought about some easing of the tension. We are confident that the governments of Venezuela and Guyana would know that CARICOM's position that our region must be and remain a zone of peace is the best position for all of us.
CARICOM, as well as individual member countries, have been vocal on the matter, particularly expressing support for Guyana amid the controversy. Only recently, both Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley and her St. Vincent and the Grenadines counterpart, Ralph Gonsalves, have expressed support for Guyana during a press conference. Guyana has also received support from the international bodies such as the Commonwealth and the Organization of American States. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
The Court of Appeal will on Monday hand down its decision in relation to the election petition number 88, which the opposition is seeking to have reinstated after it was dismissed by Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George over 2 years ago. More in this Rupacina report.
The opposition had appealed the case, Claudette Thorne and Heston Bostwick versus Keith Lowenfield, which argues that the results of the March 2, 2020 elections must be invalidated on the ground of serious non-compliance with the Constitution of Guyana and electoral laws as they relate to the Guyana Elections Commission's conduct of those elections. This petition challenges Order 60 of 2020, under which the national recount into the 2020 general and regional elections was done. Attorney General Anil Nandlal, in his Issues in the News program on Tuesday, reminded that the order being challenged by the opposition is the very one crafted by its commissioners at GCOM.
They sat and they drafted a unanimous order. None of them disagreed with it. There was no vote taken on Order 60. GCOM sat down and GCOM made a decision that GCOM will recount the ballot and GCOM will recount the ballot in accordance with an order that they crafted called Order 60. And when the results did not suit the PNC, they challenged Order 60. The very order that their commissioners sat down and crafted.
The AG, however, pointed out that the People's Progressive Party and its government have a sordid record at the Court of Appeal in political matters and the opposite outcome at the Caribbean Court of Justice.
I don't think that we have received a single favorable ruling since 2020. And that's the record. I am not making this up. I'm not casting any aspersions. I have the greatest of respect for every hierarchical structure of the judiciary in our country, beginning from the magistracy all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice. But the statistical data will show that we have not been able to get a favorable ruling from that court in these political matters. And we have been able to get almost 100% reversal when we go to the Caribbean Court of Justice.
Justice George had noted that had there been no difficulties with the election, then GCOM's creation of Order 60 would have been illegal. However, she pointed out that even the election petition highlighted the difficulties GCOM faced in arriving at the valid election result. Among her findings was that the petitioners failed to prove their case that there was substantial irregularities. Rupacina, The Evening News.
Coming up, Madia woman charged with attempted murder of husband and Parica woman hospitalized with chop wounds, fingers severed. Husband arrested. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Contractors, available at Sylvie's are Karcher push sweepers, equipped with dual bristles. These push-powered machines can cover over 32,000 square feet per hour, collecting sand, dust, and particles from roadways and project sites. Save time, use less labor, and earn more. Order yours now at sylviesonline.com or at our 31 High and Hatfield Streets or Lot 90, East Henrietta, Essequibo.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digicel. This Christmas, it's all about the best. Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Get half off and a whopping 50 gigs of data when you purchase the Samsung A04 for just $14,000, the Samsung A14 for just $29,000, or the Samsung A24 for just $35,000. That's right, half off and 50 gigs of data. It doesn't get any better than this. So why wait? This Christmas, buy nothing but the best. Offer good while stocks last. Digicel.
Guyanese women from across the country are being empowered to take advantage of the many opportunities presented by the oil and gas industry. Entrepreneurial, leadership, procurement, and management are some of the training programs that women continue to have access to through the Center for Local Business Development and workshops hosted by companies in the industry. As oil production increases, so will these opportunities for Guyanese women.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Sheriel Fredericks, a 48-year-old housewife, is currently hospitalized with 4 of her fingers severed following a cutlass attack allegedly carried out by her reputed husband, a 43-year-old farmer. The incident occurred at around 6 hours 30 today at Mahica Backdam, East Bank, Essequibo. Police have said that about 3 weeks ago, the couple had a misunderstanding which led to the woman leaving their home to go stay with her sister at Mahica Backdam. This morning, however, the suspect went to the house and pleaded with his wife to return home. However, the woman was reluctant to accede to his request, causing the suspect to drag her out of the yard. In turn, the woman lashed the man to his head with a rolling pin or belna. At this time, the woman's daughter showed up with a cutlass in her hand, but the suspect took it away from her and used the weapon to attack his reputed wife. After the assault, the man tried to escape but was quickly captured by residents in the community. The woman was then rushed to the Leonora Cottage Hospital and the suspect was taken to Mahica Police Station. The victim was later transferred to West Demerara Regional Hospital, where she remains a patient. Meanwhile, 37-year-old Amanda Prince of Danju Hill, Madhya Region 8, was on Monday charged with the attempted murder of her husband. She made a virtual appearance before Magistrate Sunil Scarce at the Madhya Magistrates Court and was not required to plead to the indictable charge. Police have said that on November 19, Prince attempted to murder her husband, Ashton Courtman, a 34-year-old pump attendant at Danju Hill, Madhya. She has been remanded to prison and will make her next court appearance on December 12. The victim and suspect have been living together for the past 4 years. However, on the day in question, at about 22 hours, the couple had been consuming alcohol at their home when the suspect's son asked her to fry plantains for him. At that time, Courtman intervened and told his wife that he did not want plantains and ordered her to cook rice instead. The woman became angry, armed herself with a knife, and dealt the victim one stab to the right side of his chest. Police have said that on the following day at about 10 hours, the victim went to the Madhya District Hospital where he was admitted as a patient in a stable condition. The victim was later referred and medevaced to Georgetown Public Hospital for further medical attention. The suspect was contacted, told of the allegation, arrested and charged. We now tell you that a 38-year-old single mother of one has been brutally murdered in her home at Unity, Mahica, East Coast Demerara, while her 5-year-old son was hiding in a room upstairs. Bisham Mohammed reports that the gruesome discovery was made today after relatives suspected that something was amiss.
Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the murder of 38-year-old Charmani Tulsi, an accountant who resided at Unity Mahica, East Coast Demerara. The incident occurred sometime between 19 hours 30 on Tuesday evening and 8 hours on Wednesday at her home, where she and her 5-year-old son resided alone. According to the police, the woman's body was found at about 8 hours on Wednesday in the kitchen area of the lower flat of the building. She was lying on the ground with a piece of cloth stuffed inside her mouth and a knife stuck to the center of her throat. Her body was clad in a multicolored nightdress. Tulsi and her husband have been separated for several years now. He currently resides overseas. The woman, who works for a company under the Camex Restaurant Incorporated, usually takes her son to her sister-in-law, who resides within the same village, for her to take him to school while she goes to work. In the evening, Tulsi would collect her son from her sister-in-law and they would head home together. It is suspected that on the morning in question, the woman went downstairs to the kitchen to make breakfast when she was attacked. During the ordeal, the son reportedly locked himself in a room where he remained until the police arrived at the scene. A relative told the Evening News that after the woman did not drop off her son by the sister-in-law and calls to her phone went unanswered, the family members became concerned and went to the house. After they were still unable to get onto her, the police were called in. The ranks then broke the door to the building where they made a gruesome discovery. The house was observed to be ransacked, but detectives suspect that it is because the woman had put up a fight with her attacker. According to relatives, they did not observe any valuable missing from the house apart from Tulsi's handbag. A post-mortem examination will be conducted shortly as investigations continue.
This year, hundreds of small businesses have benefited from loans and grants amounting to over $500 million, enabling and empowering micro-entrepreneurs and enterprises to boost their operating capacities and target new markets. Find out more in this Fiona Morrison report.
Chief Executive Officer of the Small Business Bureau, Shazim Ibrahim, has revealed that for the year so far, $284 million has been distributed to 21 small businesses under its loan guarantee program. Moreover, the Bureau is projected to disperse $300 million in grants to some 1,400 small businesses this year. He made these revelations on Tuesday evening at the Small Business Bureau Annual Awards Ceremony, where some 21 small businesses receive awards for their outstanding performance in different fields of business. Abraham emphasized that small businesses contribute significantly to the wider economy.
As we gather to recognize outstanding achievements, let us celebrate the diverse tapestry of talent and innovation that defines our small business community. Your success stories are a testament to the transformative power of entrepreneurship, impacting individual lives and contributing significantly to the broader economy. In line with our mission, we aim to foster entrepreneurship, encourage business cooperation, and solidify the value chain for maximum contribution to the mainstream economy.
Speaking on behalf of Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onij Waldron, was the ministry's communications manager, Cordell McClure, who reiterated the government's commitment to supporting small businesses.
Over the last 3 years, for example, the government has issued approximately 2,500 grants valued at over 680 million Guyana dollars. We have also guaranteed 6-to-1 loans through our partner financial institutions valued at $569 million.
He noted too that small businesses have received tremendous government support at various expos, local and regional.
AgroFest in Barbados, in the Everything Vinci Expo in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and shows in Brazil and other parts of the world. This support is designed to give our businesses the exposure required for expansion into international markets.
Meanwhile, among the businesses that received awards are Rejuvenate Health Plus Spa, Evo Business Solutions Inc., Doris Products and Services, Javita's Unique Creations, Sally's Stitch Fix, DT Craft Creation, Lawrence's Poultry Farm, among others.
A number of controversies that occurred in 2019 under the Region 5 Regional Administration were on Monday highlighted before the Public Accounts Committee, including one contractor receiving 89% of drainage and irrigation contracts for that year through restricted tendering. Gerald Bryan tells us more.
During the PAC sit-in, the committee interrogated officials from Region 5. This includes the current and former regional executive officers Genevieve Blackman and Ovid Morrison respectively. One case in particular attracted much attention. The audit office found that 15 contracts totaling $90.5 million was awarded via restricted tendering to one contractor. This represents 89% out of $101.8 million spent on drainage and irrigation in 2019. PAC member and Public Works Minister Juan Edghill urged an investigation.
Mr. Chairman, I'm asking that the Financial Secretary investigate this matter, because if we have such a situation occurring, those evaluators needs to be evaluated by the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board, because then we have problems. You missed something? Well, when you get these tenders in, you have to be evaluated. And an evaluation panel is looking at orange, apples, and bananas. The job to be done is apples. So you know that in the first time, you disqualified banana and orange because it's apples you're looking for.
Meanwhile, Blackman was asked by PAC member Ganesh Mahipal whether the region continues to use restrictive tendering under her watch, to which she said yes. Mahipal meanwhile urged the region to use the services of reputable persons even from outside the region to be evaluators for contracts examined by the Regional Tender Board.
You are aware that you don't necessarily have to take them from your region.
I can get from outside the region?
Yes.
I would be happy because I'm struggling.
FS, I believe some further guidance may be necessary there, because REO is guiding us that she's operating with 4 evaluators who are working in her region. And I believe the law says that regional tender boards are not restricted to utilize evaluators solely from within their region.
Finance Secretary Shukrishna Lal Pasha meanwhile committed to reach out to other REOs to ensure they are not struggling with the same unnecessary constraint. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
Guyanese businessman Nasruddin Mohammed, founder of Jumbo Jet Auto Sales, has warned that legal actions will be taken against companies and persons that continue to resell SINOTRUK vehicles. The businessman argues that the resale of these vehicles is an infringement upon an agreement between Jumbo Jet and China National Heavy Duty Truck Company. Last year, the Guyanese company and the Chinese firm entered into a US $40 million agreement to provide over 500 brand new trucks to the local economy, with Jumbo Jet earning the rights as the sole distributor of SINOTRUK, HOWO, and CNHTC brands. Already, the company said it has had to issue an official legal document to a Guyanese businessman who is presently advertising the sale of the SINOTRUK dump trucks without authorization. Against this backdrop, Jumbo Jet has warned that all unauthorized resellers, both local and international, will be served with similar legal documents. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Thursday, November 23rd at 1:30 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Thursday, November 23rd at 13:20 hours for a period of 1.5 hours.
Golden Jaguars promoted to CNL League A after 6-0 victory, and Windies A Tour Tage Hodge smash half-centuries on day 2. Details of these stories in the Sportcast, sponsored by MAHAICA, coming up on the other side of the break.
Superbet, your best bet. Win with Superbet. With many products to choose from, winning can be endless. Visit an agent near you or www.superbet.gy to play your favorite games. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digicel.
Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Hold on to your Santa hats, because there's up to $50 million in cash to be won. Activate any data plan, and you can be one of 14 winners to join Digicel's Spin to Win game show, where you can win millions in cash. Activate a data plan today on the best network and make this Christmas the best one yet.
Digicel.
John Lewis Styles has opened a new department, now offering home goods. Here you can find quality sheets and towels, pillows, blankets, and even bath mats and shower curtains. Organize your laundry with clothes baskets, fabric steamers, irons, and ironing boards. For the kitchen we have small appliances, towels and mittens, pot sets and dinner sets too. Decorate the house with mirrors, picture frames, floating shelves, and decorative pillows. All these and more on Waterloo Street. It's fashion for the home. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Welcome back to this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MAHAICA. Guyana's senior men's national team will next year compete amongst the best teams in CONCACAF as a result of their promotion to League A. The team sealed their promotion with an emphatic 6-0 victory over Antigua and Barbuda last evening. Here are the details.
6 unanswered goals from Guyana's senior men's national football team was the key to their ascension to the League A of the CONCACAF Nations League for the next season. The Golden Jaguars, unbeaten in 4 games prior to last night, kept their sheet clean to ensure they would finish at the top of Group D in League B, thus securing the promotion. Head coach Jamal Shabazz opted for a starting 11 that read goalkeeper Killian Roberts, captain Daniel Wilson, Jonathan Grant, Jalen Jones, Colin Nelson, Curtis Kelman, Liam Gordon, Omari Glasgow, Nathan Mariah Welsh, Stephon Duke McKenna, and Kelsey Benjamin. The Golden Jaguars' party began as early as the 7th minute when Kelsey Benjamin capitalized off a cross from Liam Gordon to tuck in Guyana's first goal. Benjamin and Omari Glasgow continued to work in tandem, but 2 shots went awry to ensure Guyana would wait for their second strike. In the 36th, however, Benjamin fed Glasgow another promising cross, and while the Antiguan keeper Zaim Scott came off his line, Glasgow sung the shot to make it a 2-0 affair. 9 minutes later, it was a comedy of errors for Antigua as Guyana's third strike caught all of their opponents off guard. From a set piece beyond the halfway mark, Nathan Mariah Welsh chipped the ball over the head of the keeper to take the score to 3-0 at the half. In the second segment, the substitutions began, but Guyana continued to maintain their intensity. Coming in for Glasgow, Osesi de Rosario made no mistake in his debut for the Golden Jaguars when he curved the ball around the keeper into the corner of the net in the 67th. Another substitute, Leo Lovell, also made the most of his time on the pitch as he beat the keeper in the 90th for Guyana's 5th goal. Before added time could expire, Dion Moore capitalized on an assist from Lovell for Guyana's 6th and final goal. The Golden Jaguars finished the group stage of the CONCACAF Nations League 2023-2024 with 15 points from 5 games. The next best team in Group D was Puerto Rico with 12 points from 6 games. For the Evening News Sport, Jemima Holmes.
Half-centuries from Tagenarine Chanderpaul and Kavem Hodge and other meaningful contributions from Akeem Jordan and Kevin Sinclair got the West Indies a 27-run lead when the second day of their first 4-day test unfolded. Details in this